Okay, so we're at the last sign for the month of November. Who is it? Who's the last sign? Who haven't we done? Virgo, you're last for the month of November. Planet is speaking to Virgo. Which planet is speaking to Virgo? Which planet is speaking to Virgo? Saturn. Saturn is speaking to you, Virgo, in the month of November. Which house is speaking to Virgo in the month of November? Which house is speaking to Virgo in the month of November? Which house is speaking to Virgo in the month of fourth house as well? Fourth house is speaking to you, Virgo. Messages for Virgo in the month of. It did it again. I got no, I got too many. Down four. Next, the God of wisdom and writing urges you to expand your knowledge and refine your communication skills. Eloquence, Virgo. There may be a need for you to go back to the drawing board with your communication. Your form of expression may not be eloquent. And so now you need to go back and maybe try to gain an understanding for a different type of wording, different type of language. Maybe you need to do public speaking or take a class on communication, effective communication. Okay, so there's a need for you to pay attention to your communication skills in the month of November, where you may be someone who curses a lot. You may be somebody who um, can't stand when people intervene in a conversation where you only want them to listen. You're looking for them to listen, not necessarily respond. This may be you, but effective communication is where you're communicating and the other person is able to receive what you're saying in the manner that you meant it. Okay, Virgo? So if you are someone who communicates things and then someone brings it to your attention the way that they receive it. And then you say, well, that's not what I meant, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to see. This is the reason why effective communication is necessary. Make sure that the person is understanding you or receiving you in the way that you mean it. You may have to ask follow-up questions after you've said something to someone, advised someone, suggested to someone. Okay, you may need to follow up with, you understand what I'm saying, or you get what I'm saying? You understand? You are you following me? Are we on the same page? These are simple questions you can follow up with after you have given advice or you have suggested, gave your opinion or perspective on something, Virgo. Okay, but there's a need for you to pay attention to the way your communication. Look at your communication skills. How effective or ineffective are they? Because eloquence is coming out for you in the month of November as a focus area. Messages for Virgo. Oh, there go two right there. Yeah. A call to truth, integrity, and balance. Your actions should be weighed carefully to uphold justice. Integrity, Virgo. Men need to work from a place of integrity in the month of November. Be careful that your decisions and your actions are done with integrity in the month of November. And there's a need for you to pay attention to integrity. But you could be in the middle of justice, receiving it, or handing it down to someone else. And you need to pay attention to whether you're doing that ethically, morally. If you're working with integrity in the month of November, okay, you should not have issues with your actions or decisions, the choices you've made later. Where if they do come up, you're able to validate or affirm what happened because you were working from integrity from the start. Okay, Virgo? And the moon god constantly points to cycles and rhythms. Adapt your plans according to natural timing. You too, Virgo, need to move about naturally. Don't try to go outside something, move too fast with something. Okay? Allow it to progress naturally in the month of November. As it pertains to cycles, allow them to progress or manifest naturally. No need to try to affect how they come about, how they progress. Not now. Allow things to happen naturally. Okay? So let's see what Saturn has. Okay, so let's see what Saturn has for you, Virgo. Messages from Saturn. Saturn messages for Virgo. Saturn messages for Virgo in the month of November. Mm. You got duty, conviction, suffering, burden, intolerance, principles, indoctrination. Saturn is here though. So this is not good. This, let me say it like this. If you have been, if you've been morally, ethically, intentionally, purposefully creating or doing things, you will be judged for them. In the month of November, I am seeing conviction, suffering, and burden behind service, duty, things that have been created. Were they selfishly created or were they in support of others from the ground up? Did you have an individual interest outside of what was known to the people you provided services or duty for? You will be judged for this in the month of November. This is from Saturn, and he is the god of karma. Okay? So your karma could very well be coming back for you or coming for you in regards to your creations, your manifestations in the month of November. You may be getting judged, you may be getting convicted, you may suffer or be caused burdens behind your actions, decisions, choices. You will be challenged and tested. And after those tests, after those challenges, you will be assessed by Saturn as to whether or not you learn a lesson or you continue to fail. Okay, Virgo? Messages from Saturn. Saturn messages. Oh. Saturn messages for Virgo in the month of November. Saturn messages for Virgo in the month of. There were two right there. Yay! Woo! Selfishness, self-care, trickery, suspicion, cunning, caution. That's not good either. That's not good either. You will be assessed on your individual efforts outside of outside of stable situations. So individually, your your assessment, individually, your assessment is about how you individually contributed to a foundation. something that was allowed to manifest from the ground up. What was your contribution to that? How did you contribute to that? You, as an individual, Virgo, will be assessed outside of these situations because selfishness, self care, trickery, suspicion. This is the fox. So there would have been someone in the situation that had motives, intentions outside of what everyone else was privy to, what the entire situation was privy to. Okay. And this will be assessed in the month of November. Because if trickery is here, suspicion, caution, and cunning, there may have been a need to safeguard either by you or someone else from you or within a situation where you're involved. But I'm getting that you will be assessed as it pertains to selfishness, self care, trickery, suspicion. So if you've been doing things where suspicion took place, or it seemed like selfish motives were driving you, or there was a need to be cautious around your moves or the things that you were doing, you will be judged on this. You will be assessed on this in some form or fashion in the month of November. It could start in November, but it might not end in November. Okay? Virgo, this is Saturn here. So this is about test challenges assessment. Okay? You also got sensuality, sex, virtue, morality, ethics, and wisdom. It's also important to understand that Saturn represents responsibility. So, responsibility for your duties, responsibilities for the things that you have been able to help manifest or create. You will be judged on your accountability and responsibility to selfish affairs, self care, whether you were given self care in appropriate situations or inappropriate situations. Were you being cunning? Was there a need for others to be cautious around you, or were you cautious around others because of a certain thing, a certain perspective, opinion, or unknown deeds? Okay? So these are your messages from Saturn. The responsibility that came about from how you move is what I'm getting. How you've been maneuvering. Okay? But Saturn is also bringing a message about sex, virtue, morality, ethics, and wisdom. This may be tested. This may come under assessment. How have you been responsible in these areas? How have you been able to sustain in these areas? Uh, is there something that you are challenged by in these areas that you are refusing to address, Virgo? Have you been responsible with your intimate affairs involving others? Have others been responsible in their affairs with you? And this is Saturn here. So assessment is happening in the month of November in these areas for you, Virgo. So let's move on to the fourth house. Fourth house messages for Virgo. Fourth house messages for Virgo in the month of, wow. Fourth house messages for Virgo in the month of November. Fourth house messages for Virgo. That's on my cards too. But there were three messages right there. Thank you. When you meet your soulmate, you'll feel calm, no anxiety, no agitation. This is fourth house. Okay? So you could have met your soulmate, and if you feel calm around them, you feel secure around them, go with it. No anxiety and no agitation. So if you don't feel this, or your nerves don't rattle with this person. Instead, there's a sense of calmness, there's a sense of relaxing, there's a sense of peace with this person. This is your person. This is someone you need to embrace. Okay, Virgo? And this is fourth house. This is someone you want in the home. This is someone who, if they're in the home, you continue to thrive with them. You support them. Okay? If they're supporting you and you have that feeling of calm and peace where you're not disturbed by their energy, that's what you want around you. And this is fourth house. So this could be someone who's in the home, who you habitate with, have habitated with. This could be somebody who, or this could be a child. This could be somebody who, and this is not a, and when I speak on the fourth house, I'm not saying that the child is your soulmate. What I am saying is that the child could nourish something in your soul. The child could be hitting something emotionally within you that you need to embrace or that you will embrace because it brings you a sense of resolve or calm about something. Okay? Because that can happen. But as it pertains to an adult, when you meet your soulmate, pay attention to how you feel, Virgo. Pay attention to how you feel. You can pay attention to how they talk or what they're saying, or you can pay attention to what they're doing. But you need to also pay attention to how you're feeling about it. Because if they're doing something that someone else has previously done, but the feeling is different, where the feeling is more welcoming, stick with it, okay, Virgo? The reason it hurts so much to separate is because our souls are connected. So you may have to go away from this person. This person may have to go away from you. You may have to cut ties with a person. And like I said, individual growth is separate from um, relationship growth. It's separate. It's something that you may need to pay attention to before relationship, your individual growth. You need to pay attention to that. But if you separating from this person means that you feel sad or you feel like you lost something, that's because you're connected on a soul level. When you're connected on a soul level, it can feel like the light is leaving, or you're back in the darkness because this person is gone, or there is a darkness, or the light is not as bright because this person is gone. But believe me, it will get brighter. It can get brighter. You gotta take the right steps in the right direction, because this person could have been in your life for a season for you to understand something. Now might not be the time for y'all to grow the way you might want, Virgo. They may be there to present something to you that at the time you need to deal with before the growth can happen. Okay, Virgo? Pay attention to people around the home, around the family, within the family. Pay attention to kids, children. Okay? Pay attention to the mother and the females as well. Life is tough, but so are you, Virgo. Life is tough, but so are you. And there may be an emotional insecurity or physical insecurity about what you're going through at the present time. But you are able to handle that. It wouldn't be placed on you. Or you are meant to grow from that or through that. That's why it was placed on you. So if you have been avoiding, you need to tackle at this time. You need to be in the moment with what's going on. You need to come to resolution and solution from a challenge, for a challenge. In the fourth house, so this is fourth house matters. Pay attention to the home. Pay attention to the family. Pay attention to the children. Pay attention to the females. Okay? Things may happen, but they happen for a reason. It's up to you how you receive and deal. Okay, Virgo? So reach out to me, text, email, okay? If you have questions about anything, I am currently revamping my website, okay, to incorporate my art along with my guidance. I'm going to do a different site. So if you go to my site now, the number has changed. You cannot use that number to call me or text me anymore. Use my email. My email you can still use, and if not, you can copy and then send it from whatever app platform you use. Okay, so you can email me your questions. You can once I get my site up, you'll see my new number and all the other stuff. Okay, and then you'll be able to text me with questions and things like that. So if you have questions or if you want further guidance, you'll be able to text or email me. And I do require donations, not fees, donations for my spiritual guidance. So I've explained this before, but I'll explain it real quick before I go. That with me, my service is mediation coaching. Okay. That is, I charge a fee for that. Okay. But my spiritual guidance is donation based. Okay. It's donation because you have to give to receive on either side. And if I'm just giving you information or understanding and I'm not receiving anything from you, then I'm doing myself an injustice. Okay. But there is no fee for my spiritual guidance because that is a support that I don't believe should be a service type thing. So yeah, you let me know. I'm here. I'll be back next month for the December messages. Um, I'm going to be doing the December messages for December, but I also have to do my messages for the year next year, 2026. So December will be busy for me. Busy, but you guys got more coming. I thank you for being with me all this time, and I will see you next month. Okay.